Hi, this is David Naughton, and you're listening to FANTASM Podcast.
Did you hear that?
I heard that.
What was it?
Could be a lot of things.
Yeah?
A coyote.
There aren't any coyotes in England.
The Hound of the Baskervilles.
Pecos Bill?
Heathcliff.
Heathcliff didn't howl.
No, but he was on the moors.
It's a full moon.
Beware the moon. And stick to the road. Oops.
I vote we go back to the slaughtered lamb.
Yeah.
Take it from Wolfman Jack. The critics and I agree. This is the most outrageous horror film that you'll ever see because David is having the most frightening nightmares of his life.
I think I did some terrible things last night, things I can't remember.
It may have been someone he ate. From the director of Animal House, a different kind of animal. An American Werewolf in London, rated R.
Now playing in a selected theater near you. Check your local newspaper for listings.
This is Corey Gorechrist of FANTASM Podcast. I am here live at Days of the Dead, Louisville, with a horror icon, David Naughton. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Good. It's the last day of the convention. How did it go overall for you?
It's good. You know, this is Days of the Dead is always a good show, so it's nice to come to Louisville.
Awesome. And if you would, I'd like to talk to you just about your career a little bit and get everyone, the listeners, familiar with you. I know your father was a very prolific man. He knew like Paul Newman and...
That's actually my brother you're talking about.
Brother?
Yes, that's my brother James, yeah.
And he worked with Roddy McDowell and Planet of the Apes and all that stuff, which is awesome. How did that impact your life?
Well, yeah, he was my older brother James. He was a guy I always looked up to and sort of paved the way for both my sister, who's just a little older than me, and I was the youngest of three. So yeah, I was always looked up to my brother. We've always had a good relationship, and it just so happened that we both became actors in the family.
And did you ever meet anybody that he worked with, like Paul Newman or Roddy or any of those guys?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, if you see it on this picture, I'm actually in makeup here. This is me in Planet of the Apes, the TV series.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so yeah, I did. I had a chance to meet those guys and many that I've worked with myself, so it's been good.
And then you did famously the Dr. Pepper commercials. How did that come about?
Yeah, this was the Be a Pepper campaign in the late 70s. Through an audition, basically a dance audition in New York, where I was living at the time, starting my career, and didn't really feel qualified as a dancer because in New York they got the real things, real dancers. But
I forgot the moves,
Yeah, lo and behold, I was continued to get callbacks and was selected out of a large group of people who are auditioning, and it was really a fun and a terrific opportunity for me, and lasted for 4 years representing Dr. Pepper.
Wow. And you did some singing, too, as well.
Oh, yeah, we sang and danced across America, really put us both on the map, in a sense,
awesome.
In the 70s. Yeah, so it was really fun, as I said. It was under contract with him, doing personal appearances, so I've been doing these kinds of things for a long time.
And then you did a show called Making It, where you did the theme song for it.
I did. I got a chance to record the song. It was a top 10 song, went to number 5 in the top 40. I hadn't done one before, but yeah, it was really pretty exciting. And that was, an ABC thing. Yeah. Disco was in the disco days. And the song still plays, which always cracks me up.
Yeah, I got a chance to check the show out because obviously it was past my era, but I did some research on it, and there's a episode you did with your character Billy. If you guys haven't seen the show, you should definitely check it out. Was it 9 episodes that went, I think?
Oh, I don't, not really sure how many. I know we did 13.
Right. And there's an episode where your character Billy poses as Al Pacino's brother to get into an art auction. It's a really funny episode. You guys definitely check that show out. You also did a lot of other television, like you were in Jag and Seinfeld and MacGyver even. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah, sure.
What were those experiences like?
They're all good.
Special ones from any of those?
Well, these are. I always look at things as like there's gigs and there are roles. Roles are the ones that are really particularly meaningful or impact your life.
Right.
And then there's just gigs where you have to, if you're an actor and you're a professional actor, these are things you do to make a living and pay the bills like anybody else. So.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, so I kind of put those in different categories.
All right. And then we'll move on to the peppered meat of the interview here, and we'll get right into American Werewolf in London. How did that go for the audition and everything?
It was, just one of those wonderful opportunities where I got a chance to meet with John Landis, who had written and the script, and as people know and remember him from directing Animal House and the Blues Brothers. So it was an opportunity to go and meet him, sit down, have a chat in his office. We got talking. He was a very personable guy and gave me the script and said, read this. Call me tomorrow. I called him the next day. He goes, well, want to be a werewolf? And that's true.
And now you're Irish-American, correct? Your family?
Yeah, we're of Irish descent, yes.
Had you been to Great Britain before, prior to filming the
yes, I actually studied acting in London.
Wow.
After I graduated from college, I went to the University of Pennsylvania. Then I went to a drama school called LAMDA, the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art.
Oh, wow.
Studied classical acting, primarily for stage. Was there at LAMDA really 5 years prior to coming back to do this movie. So it was kind of fun. I knew London very well, and it was fun to go back there with this werewolf movie.
Oh, yeah. And then what about working with Rick? How was that?
Rick Baker was, not known to me or to a lot of people because we were all sort of, pioneers in this particular adventure. So I just remember when I met him the very first time, he goes, what role are you playing? I said, I'm playing David Kessler. He goes, well, I feel sorry for you.
He had a lot of work cut out.
He had a lot, yeah. And I soon found out what he meant. But he was terrific, of course. Won his first Academy Award for this movie.
That's amazing.
And, went on to become, if not certainly in the top special effects makeup artist, as everybody knows. So I was thrilled to have had the opportunity to work with him.
Oh, yeah. And you guys made, without a doubt, one of the greatest werewolf movies ever made. And, it's crazy. All this time now, it's still there.
Here it is, yeah.
Top,
Here we are. Well, in terms of practical effects, it sort of raised the bar, I think.
So I know Wolfen came out that year, I think, before American Werewolf.
Yeah, I don't know the exact chronology, but yeah, we were racing to get out, and it was one of those things where we finished the shooting in England in March, and the film came out in August, so it was very quick to be released. And
was it cold out there when you guys filmed, or was it?
Oh yeah,
it looks pretty cold.
It's for real, very cold. There's a fan coming. Just a minute, yeah.
And talk about for a second with the relationship with Dr. Pepper, because I don't know if it's true or not, but apparently because you filmed the nude scene in the film, I mean you were nude in a lot of the movie.
That's actually not a true statement.
I didn't think
as far as no, I had, as I said, I had done the Dr. Pepper stuff for 4 years, and it was ready for me. I was ready to move on, and the werewolf thing came actually after in the chronology of it. But it makes a good story.
It's just like a fan myth, I guess.
Yeah, a fan myth. We've dispelled it.
It is debunked here on Phantasm.
Yes, that's right.
You meet a lot of people at these conventions. What's the thing that usually they resonate to with this movie that they love the most about it?
Well, I've heard all kinds of different stories. People that have lost friends along the way, and they said this was the movie that my friend and I went to see, and it's I heard that a couple of times on this particular weekend, and so the film reminds them where they were when it came out and what they were doing and who they were with, and that's really fun to hear. I loved hearing those stories.
All right. Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I appreciate every minute of it. You're one of my favorite horror actors for sure.
Well, I appreciate it. Nice being on your show.
An honor. And as a Jewish kid growing up and watching this film, I really resonated with the character. I thought it was neat.
Yes, well, you can thank John Landis for that one.
It was really a pinnacle of horror. Still to this day remains one of the greatest horror films of all time, and you are one of the greatest horror actors of all time. So I want to thank you very much for that.
My pleasure. Thanks so much. Hi, this is David Naughton, and you're listening to Phantasm Podcast.
Dang, 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 ding, dong, ding,